Okay, I just want to make sure this works. So you're gonna hear twice. Okay, I just want to make sure this works. Okay, I'm gonna turn that off. Okay, so yeah, I'm trying to make a build mode tutorial for NPC health scaling. That's what we're gonna do. I need to find something first. Let's see, what is connected to this? Okay, we have just a touch trigger, a looper with no settings, and piggy bot limit 1. Nothing else attached to this. Okay. Um. No. Okay. Huh, we're gonna have to. All right. So we're gonna go back to home mode. Just realized this screen isn't centered. Oh yeah, it can also be smaller. Hold on. I just realized that we can make this. Sorry for screen adjustments. Would it hurt? Does it look weird like that? So we're just doing. I'm doing some screen testing. I want to see how it looks. I don't know if it looks bad from that angle or not. Like, can you see the whole screen or not? We're about to find out. Do people enjoy watching through that? I guess it's not too terrible. You could like see. Let me. It's actually not too bad. You just have to watch that. I might do that so you can see my whole screen. Though I can't really. Okay, so we're gonna have to. We're gonna be doing a COD scale. First, we need a. I don't even know. Default settings, and then I need to figure out how to do the glitch because I'm gonna need it for the tutorial. I need to just do piggy bot. What is this? Anyone? Alright, and I need to see if this works or not. No, it doesn't. We're actually gonna, hold on. I'm deleting that other map that I don't need. Let's save this over. We're just gonna do test, and then I'm gonna actually save it over this map. I need to go back to the COD map and see how it functions. Alright, let me go. Okay. So nothing's connected to it, huh? Only infected. But you sure? And it doesn't connect to anything else? This doesn't connect to anything? Oh. Weird. I don't know why it does that, but I mean, hey. But hold on, it works, right? We're gonna make sure. Yes, it's not even working, but it's still spawning piggy bots. Maybe because the loop has to be off. That might be it. That's it. Where is it? Does the loop have to be? No? Okay. We're gonna find out. So it just says infected only. That's weird. just has to, the map has to be low enough. I don't know. It works on the other map, but there we go. I don't know why it works like this, but yeah, now we've got it working. We're gonna need this glitch, but not right now. Can I actually add something? Ooh. Ooh. I'm just gonna do that. I do want to change the text though. What the heck happened to it? This is kind of weird. Yippee. Okay, okay, we're back. Well, they're down there. Okay, so we gotta make it. So this is gonna be our map, but we need to build other elsewhere. So okay, so we gotta build it first, and I'll explain what this is in a bit. Okay, so we're gonna have to turn that off for a bit because I gotta explain how this works. Or we're gonna move that for a bit. Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna start recording. Uh, Dang it! For the screen, I'm probably gonna have to move it back. Here's what I'll do. Um, Wait, no, hold on. Here's what I'll do. Screen capture. Okay, so this is about the same. Literally just a tiny bit more. Sorry, I'm adjusting the screen so I can record this. Okay, so I'm gonna record. Alright, and welcome to this build mode tutorial. I'm going to be explaining Piggy build mode NPC health. Now, what exactly does this mean? Well, we're gonna take advantage of the gun and a crossbow. So you know how when you shoot a normal gun, it'll just stun the piggy. But what if we wanted them to die after getting shot, or getting shot so many times? What if we wanted them to like spawn around the map, and when we shot them, they would come back? Basically, kind of like a zombie system. Well, that's what I'm gonna explain today. So, first we need the zombie setup. Now, right here, we're going to be abusing a build mode bug. This is for not custom NPCs. This is for not bot skins, like any player model. So if you have any skins that aren't bots, you're going to be doing this. However, if you're planning to do this with something like let's say you wanted to do alphas, all you could do is you could do a normal looper, 1,000 loops, and then have it spawn in the piggy block. But if you want it to be a bot like decaying infected, so you can have zombie variants, we're gonna do this trick. This abuses a build mode bug where you can where you can get piggy to spawn. I don't know what I'm saying. So right here, we're gonna have a piggy spawn and a touch trigger on top of it. We're gonna have it to these settings. And then once that, you're going to link it to a looper right here. This looper is not going to have any settings. You're just going to keep it default. And you're going to link this to a spawn NPC block. The NPC is going to just need Piggybot and keep the limit 1. Now, what this will do is, because of a bug, it will constantly spawn. Oh, we got to wait. Cut that out. Alright, so now the piggy is about to spawn, and you'll see what happens. Instead of just spawning one piggy, I messed it up. So we're gonna delete that and then have to re-record that whole thing. Alright. So, unless you clicked randomly or saw the title, I'm going to be explaining Piggy Build Mode NPC health skills. Now, what exactly do I mean? So, we all know the gun and crossbow, right? When you shoot a piggy or a bot, it gets stunned for 20 seconds. But what if we wanted them to die when they got shot? Or, like, take multiple shots before death? Or have them respawn constantly? Well, this is basically NPC health, and I'm going to explain how to do it. If you want to do a normal bot skin, all you have to do is a touch trigger that has to be activated when the game starts. And then you can do a looper with 1,000 loops and however fast. And then you just do a spawn NPC block of whatever bot you want. However, if you want a skin that's not a bot, like example, we have decaying infected. If you wanted to do like zombies and you wanted several variants, we're gonna do a build mode bug that'll allow you to do this. So your first setting, you need the piggy spawn right above a touch trigger, not inside. It needs to have these settings. And what you're going to do is you're going to connect it to a looper. The looper's just going to have default settings. And then you're going to link it to spawn NPC block. And the NPC must be the piggy bot and have it just one. Now, what do I mean by this? You'll see. So, then you're going to bring these down somewhat low into the void. You don't want them. You just want them somewhat down here. And what's going to happen is when we start the game, instead of spawning just one piggy, it's going to continue to spawn more. You see? Now, it might take a while, but you see how... And it's going to do this forever. And you probably don't want infinite NPCs in your build map, so we're going to fix that. But this is how you get NPCs to spawn. Alright, there we go. That's the first part. Alright, now we gotta go to my alt account. Alright, so now how do we want the NPCs to die or limit? Here's what you're going to do. Here's one option. You're going to connect the touch trigger to a timer, and you want to set that timer to however long you want. I would recommend counting how many NPCs spawn so you can determine how many you want. So let's say 3 seconds. After that, you're going to connect it to a power death block, and you want it to have affect NPCs and affect infected. No other things. And now you're gonna size it. I'd recommend 3 by 3 here. This is because the bots just constantly spawn, and you can't do anything about that. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna so it's obviously 3 seconds, but you see how they start dying now. This is just gonna keep happening, and you can just ignore it. But this is how you can get only a few NPCs into your map, or however many you want. There's another way to do this, which I'll explain later, but this is probably the simplest. Also, welcome to yeah, I see the chat. Hello. I'm just trying to I'm recording a video, but I'm also doing it as a stream. I also had background music, but I'm trying to record right now, so yeah. Alright, I'm gonna do this next segment right here. Alright. So, now that we do this, how are we actually gonna set up the system? Well, first, I would recommend putting this far away from the map. So, we're gonna have to move everything to far away. This is because the NPCs don't try to target the players, and I'll show you why they don't want to do that and how they'll get teleported into the map later. We're just gonna move all our links over here. I don't know if this is necessary, but we might as well move it anyways. It's the looper. We're just gonna put it near here as well. Alright, so how do we want the NPCs to exactly work? Well, the fastest way I found it is I'm gonna make a little system right here. And here's how it's gonna work. Actually, let me go and move the piggy spawn. I forgot to do that. Alright, so here's how it's gonna happen. We're also gonna change the timer so I can show like how the NPCs actually spawn. Alright, so here's how it's gonna work. The NPCs are gonna spawn, and then they're gonna go down a path. Why are they going down this path? Well, we'll explain that in a second, but let me show you how this system is set up. So we want the zombies, depending on how many you have, this is how big you can make it. You're gonna want to have several different touch triggers. You're gonna have several different touch triggers, and they're so let me space them out more. And then they're all gonna have a goal. So we need an if gate for each and every one. How many? This just depends on how many NPCs you have. So let's say we want 4 NPCs. We're gonna connect these all to only infected, on forever. And we're gonna do this for each and every single one. This is gonna determine when they get stunned and activate the links. So we're gonna do this. Oh wait, that one glitched. Okay. So we're gonna move it here. Now the if gates, what do we want for them? So for the health system, you need the gun. So you're gonna do it to is stunned, and then you're gonna do it for every single one. Just varies on how many NPCs you'll plan to have. Is stunned. All right. All right. So is stunned, and for the system, the reason why we're doing this is because we want the zombies to all touch their links individually. So, what I found useful is a system where the zombies are all going to go after a fake player NPC. And what this will do is, so zombies are far away from the map so they don't target the players. And they're going to go down this conveyor, each different zombie affecting it. And they're going to go down this path to chase the fake player NPC. Why did they do this? Well, basically what's going to happen is each individual zombie is going to have this if gate setting to be stunned depending on how many you have. And like I said, the more you have, the more NPCs you have, the more of these you're going to have to do. And what do we want them to do? Do we want them to die, or do we want them to be reset? Now, this is what I'll explain next. Alright. For real! This is literally the first time I've gotten more than one person on my stream. That's crazy. Actually, let me go to a server real quick and announce that. Hold on. Okay. Alright. I'll try to talk to the if gate, if stunned and said he's kill block, who activates it? It's not exactly a kill block, but if that's your choice, then yes. Because if you were to do the kill block, this is only if you want a few of them. But if you want multiple of them, you don't want to do that. So yeah. I'm not recording right now. So this is how we're gonna do it. I've also, if you've seen my recent videos of the Call of Duty maps, this is how I did it. I also need to put But while I'm not recording, you need to vary how many NPCs you have. You don't want too many because then it'll start lagging. And if it lags, then, there's a chance it might not always work. And also, it also depends on how big your map is. Like, my map, I have probably the, like, perfect amount of zombies because it's such a big map with links that it's probably just the perfect size for it to still work. Anyways, we're gonna put that there. I mean, is that an offset? No. Okay. Alright, so we need to put why they're going here. So we're just gonna make a system for now. I don't know. Alright, I'll explain more about whether to use the power death block or the next thing I'll show. Okay, so we need a, okay, we're gonna move that. Also, the person in chat, Mr. Baconair, he helped me with this. Or, no, well, he basically helped me, like, do some stuff in the COD map. I just built this system, and then if I needed help, he helped me, because he's a good linker, too. Alright, so this is probably good enough, because we're probably not going to have that many NPCs. And then I also need to show how many, like, if you want, like, them to have to be shot multiple times, we're going to have to do that. Okay. We're going to make 2 chambers, by the way, and this is just the first one. Alright, so, alright, and then now there's just a big room. This is like the end. No NPC should get here, but this is how they target. We're just going to put, like, a fake player NPC. Ignored by infected. No. We're just going to leave that random. Alright. Now I got to record again. In a minute. Alright. So, what I find here is, what is this exactly? Well, like I said earlier, the infected are going to have to go in a line of system for each individual NPC to affect the if gate. So what they're going to do is, this system I've made, they're all going to go after this fake player NPC. So they're going to each individually go down a line, and every time an infected touches one of these, they're going to get teleported to another system that's later on in the video. So, like, the first NPC touches this, they're now affected by the if gate, and they're teleported to the second system. Same with this one, and it repeats. And the conveyor is just to make them go faster. Speed blocks, if you have them, they are optional, but the NPCs sometimes move kind of wacky with them because these little annoying things don't exactly work, and they need to update them. But otherwise, yeah, you can use the speed block, but honestly, I feel like this is good enough. It's not recommended, but it's not, you basically can't do either. Oh my gosh, stuttered so much. I'm going to cut that last part out. Alright, I gotta DM all the clips to my alt account so I can edit this video. Alright, so we're going to need to show them what this next part is. I'm going to make this a little different from the COD map because, I guess I'll just do this or something. I just can't do it the same because it's not a whole point system, and that's... Alright, so let's just do this. Okay. We need to do like a singular line, actually. Alright, well, actually, no, I need to set it, the death blocks. But first, let's make sure they all get teleported. Alright, we're gonna make sure they all get teleported. Alright. If gate. And then all the infected are gonna teleport. We gotta put that in the video. Alright. Now, before we move on, we need to make sure all the infected will teleport. So, with each individual touch trigger, you need to make the infected teleport. Teleporting infects infected on. And the time between uses, it doesn't really matter, but I like to do 0 or 0.1. So, it's not like recommended. Or not recommended, but you don't have to, but I do anyways. So, you put infected, and you do it for all of them, depending on how many you have. This is because all the infected are going to teleport outside this system. So, here's what's going to happen. Now, this is where you get to choose what happens. Either they die, or they just temporarily die. And I'll kind of explain what that means. So, if you don't want them to respawn, here's what you're going to do. You're going to connect the if gate to a power death block. We're just going to do it the first one. The power death block needs to affect NPCs and infect. So when you shoot them with the gun, they're just gonna die. So we're gonna use an example, put a gun with ammo, and we're gonna move the player spawn back. Let's move the player spawn back. Alright. Now we're gonna start the game. Alright, so we're gonna grab this ammo. Oh, we're gonna lag crazy. Alright. Oh, they can't go after it right now. Oh, well, no, duh, there's just a hole. Never mind, they're still going anyways. I gotta cut that out. By the way, thank you for the sub. Alright, so, let me, like, oh, wait, no, that's just, oh, I guess it takes time. Actually, edit here, sometimes the infected will take a while to, like, do it because they keep spawning. So, yeah, just wait for that. Where's the, bro, I'm trying to record, and the gun's still over there, jeez. Hold on. I'm a little sped. Alright. Alright, so we're gonna have them spawn now. Sometimes they'll take a while to go after the NPC, but once they start spawning in, they will go after it. Will you? Why are they just not going after it? Oh, is it too far? Is that why? They were going after it earlier. I'm gonna actually end the recording. I'm gonna redo that. They can't be far. That's why. I'm just making sure they can actually get there. Yeah, they can. It just might be too far. I don't know. Hold on. Let me move them like away from the wall and see if that changes anything. Oh, so we're gonna move the timer to like 15. That way we can have it. Sometimes it takes a while. I don't know. Oh, I didn't start the game. Like their path is clear. So this is the hard part. This is the hard part because they're supposed to go after a fake player, but for some reason, because of build mode, it's like bugged, and their range is really short. So, which kind of sucks. So we have to be really careful with how we do this. So there's no patrol points right either. I guess I should add that there can't be patrol points. Or nah, they can. There can. I take that back. If anything, I'd actually almost recommend it, but I don't know. I didn't do that for my map. I'm trying to figure out. They can go through here. Oh my. Dude, I might have to like restart my PC. I'm like low-key kind of lagging. I don't know if it shows on stream, but yeah, they can go through that. Ignored by infected. It might be too far. Let's just try again and see what happens. Maybe they'll eventually go after it. I don't know if it's build mode or the system just doesn't work. Alright, we're gonna find out. Cause I saw them go after it once. I don't know. Yeah, hold on. Okay, now they just all died. Yeah, it might be the NPCs too far. That might be the issue. I guess we're gonna have to shorten this path then. I don't know. Alright, let's move that there. Let's just move it here, I guess. Let's move it here for now. Let's see how it... I don't know if that's gonna be any better, though. It's like a wacky system. Bro, they won't go after the NPC. There might be another way to do this. And I think there is. It's just, I don't know. And they're not going after it. It's like a build mode bug, and I don't know why it doesn't work. Dude, it's low-key annoying, because you have to rely on the NPC being good. What if I put the NPC right next to him? Will it work? And trust me, this was a process when I was trying to do this myself the first time. So, yeah, alright, let's see. We'll go by the one closest. I don't know if it's just... They have to be, like, really close, though. I think they have to be really close. I've seen them not come this far. Alright, let me see. They need to be, like, close in range. I'm gonna delete both of these. What if I make, like... Hold on, will they go for that? Oh, wait, no, let me change its settings. I don't know, because I've did it in another video. Or not a video, but, like, I've done it another time. I gotta figure out. Now they're close to it. You see? Alright. I gotta record that. And then, all the infect. Okay. Wait. Alright. Yeah, you see how they try to go after him, but then when they get here, they just lose sight. It's because the NPC's range is so short, and it's really hard to deal with that. So I don't know. We're gonna probably have to change this up because the NPC's range is way too short. Actually, since we're not recording, I guess I can turn back on some stream music. Or I can actually just turn it off, my audio off, like while we record. Let's see. I gotta figure this out. The range is too short. That's what I could. What about a patrol? The problem is some maps may not like require patrolling. We'll see how it goes. It might work better. I don't know. Sometimes I just stand there though. Like, see, none of that. I don't know why. Patrols are also kind of buggy. Is she not gonna go for it? Okay, none of them going for the patrol either. Okay, I don't know what's going on. Like, build mode's just bugging. Can you? Oh yeah, maybe because you can't get to it. I'm a little sped. Just maybe. Alright, now they'll go after the patrol. See, doing the patrol is much easier. Anyways, this is how this infected will work. You shoot it. Okay, wait, no, it's because I don't have it linked. But yeah. Oh, I know why. Hold on. I'm gonna re-record that actually. I'm gonna re-record that because I messed up the power death block. Okay, wait. This is recording. Did I talk about the MP? Yeah. Wait, I need to see which recording I talked about the power death block. Go down this more the more NPCs you have. Yeah, you're gonna hear myself, but sorry. My God. Okay, I don't think I talked about it yet, so we're gonna do that. Alright. You need to change the setting from on touch to player who triggered. Alright. I'm gonna record this real quick. Alright. Alright, so now what you wanna do is for each if gate, this is how you decide if you want them to die or just temporarily die, which I'll show the difference. So if you just want them to die, you need to connect the if gate with is stun to the power death block right here. That will work. Alright. And you want it to have these settings. You want the death trigger to be player who triggered, and then it wants to affect NPCs and infected. And this is what's gonna happen once so. I'm actually gonna delete these just so I can like showcase it. Alright. So we're gonna start the game. The first infected is going to go through it. Alright, there we go. And then when I shoot it, it dies. However, there is a better way to do this, and I'll show now. Alright, alright, so I'm gonna send that to my alt. And also, a quick edit, you can have a fake player NPC, but it's very recommended to have patrol points instead because it's honestly way easier. Because here's the thing, in build mode, there's a setting where you can be ignored by infected, which the bots would usually go after this. But for some reason, its range is really short. Like if the infected are over here, they probably won't go for it. But if they're like closer, then they'll detect it and go kill the humanoid. So it's recommended to have patrols, but you can do this if you make it like really short. Though it does kind of limit you on how many NPCs you can have, but it's worth it. So yeah, choose either patrols or fake player. Patrols are honestly way better and makes this work. And I say that, yeah, I didn't use patrols for mine because mine just works. I don't know how, but it works. So. Alright, now we need to explain if we want them to have death or not. So, okay. Okay, hold on. Now, for the second option, what if you want to shoot them and you think they die, but then more spawn on the map? So let's say you like shoot an NPC. I don't know why I picked the prototype. Let's say you shoot an NPC, it's supposed to die, but later it will come back. How does this work? Well, it's actually not more NPC spawning, but the NPC doesn't die, and here's how it's going to work. So, what we're going to do is we're going to remove the power death block. This is option 2. which is probably better for more NPCs at least. So you're still going to want to have is stun, and you're going to connect this to another teleport. And this teleport is going to same settings, have everyone affected, and use 0.1. It's gonna when it gets stunned, it's going to like stay in another chamber. And by the way, I would recommend making this like either like one long line, or what you can do is with the use of conveyors, we can actually make this thicker. So this is what I would recommend because this is the fastest way. Though it probably can take longer for zombies or whatever you want to use to respawn because like you have to make this bigger. And because of the the fake player NPC, am I recording? Oh my gosh, cut that out. You want them to be able to move. So here's what we're gonna do. So this is the chamber they go into when they die. And we're gonna use with the use of conveyor blocks, we're gonna have them all move this way. So this is how I would recommend it. Actually, no, I'm gonna cut that out. Actually, I'm just cut this whole part out. Because I want to redo that. Let me delete that off my video. I want to do that. Alright. Alright, so for this next part, you want the NPC to not die, but like, or you want NPCs to constantly respawn. So here's what you're going to do. So instead of having them die, you're going to remove the power death block. And then your if gate, still to has is stunned. It's going to teleport to another chamber. Now this, when they get stunned, it's going to seem like they die. But in reality, outside the map, they're going to teleport in a little chamber. And they're just going to be stuck here. When they get unstunned, they're going to go onto the conveyors. And they're going to be transported back into the map after 20 seconds. Or if you want to edit it up and make it longer with other links, you can do so. So what I would recommend is making like this 3x3 chamber with the wall surrounded by it and doing conveyors like this, because here's what they're going to do. The infected, since they have nothing to go after, or if you use patrols, they'll go instantly, but this is just to be safe. If they're just like patrolling, actually, let me do this correct way, my bad. Is that the correct way? No. I gotta cut that out. Okay. I'm just gonna cut this whole part out. I'm just gonna, and then the other side. Wait, is that the right? Bro, where's the right way? Holy crap. Alright, so, alright. I'm gonna redo that one last time, bro. Oh my gosh. Also, I don't know if anyone's actually still here, but if you are, then, thanks. But I gotta ping at Orange Sonic server. Bro, Orange Sonic, you did not need to do that, bro. And I feel like if anything, that's more of like, you know, never mind. I guess thank you anyways, though, for sharing the screen on your... Alright. Okay, so for this next step, did I delete that recording already? No. Wrong thing. Is that the... Yeah, that's the one I just tried doing now. Alright. For this next part, you're gonna want the NPCs to teleport if you don't want them to die. If you want NPCs to keep coming back and back, then this is what you're gonna do. So, right here, your touch trigger is affecting the if gate. Your if gate's gonna be set to is stunned, and you're gonna want to delete your power death block. That's why it's not here. You're gonna have your if gate teleport to another chamber. This is how I set it up. Because either if you have a patrol point, your NPCs are just gonna walk straight forward and teleport back into the map, or if they're just wandering, they're gonna keep doing this. They're gonna wander random places, and the conveyors are there to guide them through. And if they go to the side, which the wrong conveyor, they just do this. They go that way, and then they get teleported to whatever you want, which we'll go over that later. And they'll just stay here. Once they're unstunned, they'll go here, and later we'll set up how they teleport actually back into the map. Finally, an actual successful recording. Okay. Alright, so this next part, we're gonna... Alright. Okay, now I need to do more teleports, because this is how the NPCs are going to work. It's the second one. We need to do the if gate. Teleport outside the map. All right. I'm gonna set them all. All right. So we have right now we have 4 different touch triggers and 4 different teleports for when they're stunned. They'll teleport back. At the start, you also want to connect the normal touch trigger to the teleports. That way, they can come out of here and let the other zombies activate the others. And by the way, I know I keep saying zombies, but it's because I did the system in a zombie map, so sorry about that. So you're going to want to connect your touch triggers to these, and then you're also going to want to connect your if gates to the same ones, which I think I've already done. No, I didn't do it for some of them. Alright, so you're going to want to connect both your touch triggers and your if gates here. You want to have the same settings, is infected, and I personally do 0.1, which you should probably do at 0 or 0.1. Make sure they're all infected at 0 or 0.1. And they're going to teleport in here and start spawning in the map. Oh my. Alright, send that there. Alright, we need to move that. Alright, so. Alright, first let me fix that. That way I can fully demonstrate. Or also, this is only part 1. We're gonna do how they get shot multiple times. Alright. And then we're just gonna have them alright. Okay, we're actually gonna put this here. Then nope, this is enough range for the NPCs to actually go after it. Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. Alright. So this is the system right here. When the zombies get teleported in, they're gonna just either wander, or if you have the bots patrolling, they will go to the end. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a touch trigger, and this is going to be how they get back into the map or whatever. You want to set it to only infected, and turn off stays ever forever after touching. So once the zombies touch this, they're going to spawn back in the map. So let's just do. If you want to make it random, you obviously just connect it to a randomizer gate. In this case, we'll do so because that's probably what people will do. Never mind. I'm sped. All right. So we're gonna connect the randomizer gates to 2 teleports with the same settings, infected or 0.1. The random selector should just be this default settings. All right. So here's what's gonna happen. The zombies are gonna stay here. They'll get teleported randomly back into your map, unless you want to make it longer. That's your customization. So how are the zombies gonna do this exactly? Well, if you do have a patrol point, they should just patrol right here. But if you don't, you can do a fake player NPC, but the zombies will both take longer to spawn in. And it can break if you have a lot of links in your map. So for this case, you just do a patrol point at the end of here. And if you want, which is what I would recommend, you want to do fail safes. Let's say because there's so many NPCs stacked on each other, it only affects one. Well, what I would recommend doing is doing more teleport blocks to teleport back here. This will prevent the system from breaking or zombies not doing it. So same thing, only infected, only infected does not stay on forever, and they're gonna affect different teleports. This is in case several NPCs they touch this. You don't want them just standing there getting stuck. You want them to teleport back so it can reattempt to do it. It depends on where you move them, but I would do it personally somewhat close. That's just a failsafe. Now, if you don't want to do the player NPC, just test. If you don't want to do the player NPC, you do this then. I'm at patrol point, sorry. So you're gonna obviously do ignored by infected. This is gonna stay here. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna have different touch triggers. This is gonna keep the NPC in place because you can't prevent it from not moving. You can either actually. I'm gonna redo that because nah. Hold on. I want to test something actually because I don't know if that's true. You might be able to do this easier. We're about to find out. Alright, we're going to set a fake player NPC in here. That way it can't go anywhere. I want to see if the infected will go after that. Ignored by infected. I don't know why I just deleted that, but I mean, whatever. Only infected. Alright, let's put that back. Okay. At least the settings, no. Alright, so I'm going to test, we're going to test this actually. This isn't part of the tutorial. I'm just doing this so I can get out of there quick. Alright, okay, we're just gonna do slash TP, I guess. Okay. 0.2. Alright. I'm gonna not do a patrol point. So here's what I'm gonna do, okay. We're just gonna do like staircase so I can get in and make the system run. So we have no patrol points right now. So alright. We're testing right now. And I should have made them spawn early. Ugh. I wonder why this works, but I wonder why mine works, but not this one. I don't know. But it is what it is. We can try doing a player NPC, but I don't know how long they're gonna last. So, alright, so. Alright, that's just to get out of there. Okay. Do that again, but actually spawn the bots. Alright. We're gonna test something. See, they go after it. It's random. Well, that one went after it, and these don't. It's low-key weird. Also, don't tell me this one's gonna... Alright, I don't know if... Oh my gosh. Alright, they can all go kill the NPC now. Alright, so we need to grab our gun. Oh my gosh, I'm lagging, bro. Jeez. It's not even the infected, it's just my PC. Alright, so we need to kill them. And they're all gonna spawn up here. Oh, I don't know. Do the links... It looks like they can't... Okay, it looks like they all still teleported. Nice. Okay. So now we're gonna have to redo that recording, but at least that works. Okay. Okay, so right now we're doing it without patrols. If you're doing it without patrols, I would recommend changing this layout somehow because the thing is very short. So you're probably not gonna have many NPCs. So you have to make it close so the zombies like can detect it's there. But if you're doing no NPCs, here's what you're gonna do. So what is this right here? This applies for both patrolling and fake NPCs. So these are what teleports them in. This is how they teleport into the map. But what is this? Right here is the fake player NPC. And it's just going to stay stuck down here so it can't get out. But while the infected will eventually detect it and run to it. Now, what are these? These are not... These, like, you don't need. They're not mandatory. But I like to do them. They're basically fail-safes. If there's a bunch of NPCs cluttered up in this, or if you have multiple of them that teleport, if they all get through and cluttered up, this will teleport them back. So that way they can get back in the map. Because if you have a lot of NPCs, this is probably going to happen eventually. Now, if you do have patrols, you can simply just put down a patrol point at the end. This would probably make it more efficient and faster, but this also works too if you don't want patrol points. Alright, there we go. Okay, so we got that. Alright. Hi, I'm new here. What you doing? We're doing piggy build mode NPC health scaling. So I'll kind of show it right now. Let's add back the patrol points. That way it makes us more efficient. I'll kind of show you what we're doing. All right, so 2 player. So we're doing a piggy build mode NPC health scale. Forgot to spawn it early. Oh my goodness. All right, let me restart that, but actually spawn it early. All right, so this is gonna be taking advantage of the gun. All right, so let's say we want infected to. They're gonna spawn in there, so we're gonna shoot this first. Basically, this will either let you kill them or it'll let them respawn. It'll be better explained once I'm finished. So if you want to stick around, what you're supposed to do is like when you shoot the NPCs, they either die or you can like make a system for them to respawn. And I'm currently explaining going over that and making it where you can hit them several times. Oh, I used to do this. I think I still got the save. Yeah. It's somewhat advanced, so I'm making a video on it. I have a map of it too, where it's much better than this though. Okay. All right, so we need to make. All right. So now, okay. All right. So I'm gonna do one last final recording. Okay, so now you've got it set up. You should have multiple of these depending on how many NPCs you have. The timer gate will determine how many you have. So like, what you want to do is when they spawn, you want to count how many are like or have came out before the death block takes place. This will basically make it so no more zombies keep spawning. Or if you want, you could just make it where they die if more keep spawning. So, which right now 15 seconds is definitely not enough, but this is just for mine. These will all teleport into here. The zombies will go in this touch trigger, spawn in the map, and fail safes, and this is what they do. So this is how you would set up the system. But what if we wanted them to be able to tank several shots? That's what we're gonna do next. All right. Yeah, I'm just I'm trying. I was gonna make this video, but I'm live streaming it. So now we're gonna do a different section. This is gonna involve counter links. I'm gonna restart my PC after this stream, bro. All right, so. Alright, so this will spawn them in the map. Alright, we're gonna do the pans are sold at. Alright. I need to get the links ready so I can start recording again. Alright, so operation gate, counter gate, counter if gate. So let's say we have to do equal to or greater than add 1. Okay, and now we're gonna link these together. So what this will do is this will teleport them in the map. We also need okay. This is this is temporarily on, only infected. Alright. So it's gonna when this happens, it's gonna teleport in the map. We're also gonna have it connect to an if gate. Is stunned. This is gonna be multiple shots. It will add 1 to the counter. And once it's there, it's gonna teleport him back. But when the NPC touches this, it's going let's see. When an NPC touches this, this is gonna set it to 0. Alright. Alright, so we're gonna have it actually teleport into air. Okay, so what is this? Okay. Only infected. This will not stay on forever. So this is gonna reset it to 0, and then that's gonna take the counter. Alright. And then we'll keep this out for a reason. Alright, and then okay. Alright, so let's say you want an NPC to have tank multiple hits before it does this. This is right here is what I use to make the Panzer system for my map. So let's take a random NPC. Let's take the prototype for example. What if we want to shoot it like twice before it, dies or respawns? So here's what we're gonna do. You want a touch trigger, same settings, only infected, on forever. You link it to an if gate, which has is stunned, and we're going to be making use of the counter gate. So this if gate is going to affect a operation gate. You're going to want it to add one, and you're going to connect it to the counter block with 0. And then this will determine how many shots you want. So for me, I want to make it twice before it dies. So if you want it to die permanently, you can connect it to the power death block, obviously, and do the same settings. Player who triggered, affect NPCs, infect infected. But if you want it to keep coming back, you're gonna connect it to this chamber right here I've made, and what it's gonna do, you want to pad this in the same block. This is gonna teleport it while it's stunned still, and what this one's gonna do is, if I can see, this is gonna set the counter back to 0. That way, when it respawns, you have to shoot it twice again. So I'm actually gonna make a system over here. Hold on. Alright, so we're gonna have the Pander Soldat always active, because why not? Alright. And then it'll come back to this and teleport in the map again. You wanna have your teleports, obviously, to is infected. There's 0 and 0.1. And then you wanna move everything to this chamber. This is just the easy way to do it. So, alright, so here's what we're gonna do. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure it's cut that part out. Always active. Okay. Alright, so now alright. So now we are going to start the game. We're not gonna start immediately. Okay, so the NPC is in the map now, you see, alright? Alright, so we're just gonna shoot it once. Nothing happens, right? So the if gate is activated right now, and it's set to +1. I don't know why this is glowing if it hasn't worked. But I mean, whatever. Probably just build mode bug. So the NPC is going to be stunned, of course, but it's not going to teleport outside the map. So we're going to have to wait till unstun. When we shoot it a second. Oh my gosh, I got to redo that recording. I don't know. I messed it up probably. Let me just delete that. Did I set the oh my. Okay, wait. To add one if gate, add one to it. 2 or more, so then it'll affect that. Oh, is it cause it hold on. Let me maybe move that up one. That might be why. Alright, we need to shoot it. Huh. I did not mean to press F1. Alright, let me just not make that mistake again. There we go. Alright. So, we're gonna test it. I don't know why it says active. I have it set to 2, and this is only adding 1. Who knows? I don't know why it's doing that. Yeah, I don't know why it's not working. Did I not set this or something? Sorry, little struggles here. Did I not set it to is stunned? Yeah, it's stunned. Hold on. Let me make sure this is alright. This is affecting is stunned. That's turned on forever, right? Okay. Is stunned. Add 1. Yeah, it's 0. That don't make sense. Let me do 3. I don't know what's going on. Cause this is supposed to, I don't know. Hold on, let's see. Can I? What happened to the item? It's not even appearing in my inventory, bro. What the build mode bug? All right, hold on. I don't know what just happened. I think I'm just lagging that bad. All right, I shot it once. I don't know. I don't know why it does that, but I mean, hey. Maybe I need to make it where it's like in the air so it doesn't activate it immediately. I don't know. I need to figure that out. Because it already has +1. Alright. Yeah, it works, but it just doesn't teleport it. Alright, I gotta figure this out. So, yeah, the value is greater than 3. I don't know why it's... Okay, low-key, I actually... is it the NPC? Because low-key, I don't know why it's doing that. Let's do like a grandma instead. I wonder why it's bugging, though. Let's have like a grandma instead. Grandmother knows. Yeah, still. Oh, the other infected are about to spawn. It's not bro. What? Alright, honestly, I have no clue what's up. The NPC should be teleporting. Like, bro, what? Once it's stunned 3 times, it should. Is that not what's happening with them? I guess the counter blocks are bugged or something. I don't know. I can't record that part. I don't know what I'm gonna do about that because apparently this is bugged or something. What if I just connect it to like a link hub or something? I don't know. I guess we're gonna have to do another NPC because it's kind of bugged. Alright. Guess we'll just do a Foxy NPC. And then when this... Alright, so we're gonna have to... I guess we're gonna have to do it this way. Also, low-key, I'm gonna just set this to 1 second, so like, okay, so. If gate is gonna connect to a not gate, and this is gonna be to this. So when the NPC falls, that's gonna be affecting that. And I'll set it to 0. Alright, let's see if that works. Cause honestly, I have no clue. It's like, bro, you have to work. Oh my. Actually, I'm gonna just set it to stun 1 time. I don't feel like doing this all over again. Okay, let's just set it to 1 time. I pressed F1! Oh my gosh! I keep doing that. But why do I keep pressing F1, bro? I'm trying to press a number key. Lucky little spit. Too bad, bro. What is Foxy doing? Okay, Grandma teleports back. I gotta fix Foxy though. Okay, but Granny doesn't teleport back. Okay, I can fix that. Alright, let me alright. No, let me disconnect it. Alright. This is just gonna teleport Grandma outside the map. Alright. Oh, is the wait, is the hitbox not big? Oh, it is, okay. And then I'm assuming she'll teleport back after she's done being stunned. Yeah, and then she, oh. It's because Foxy hasn't teleported back, that's why. I need to do that. Foxy himself is going to teleport back. This is what I did for the Panzer. It's just, I hate doing it here because it's so unnecessary and people probably aren't going to believe that. Teleport's infected. Alright, that's what Foxy's going to get teleported by. I'm going to make this slightly taller, actually. Okay. Let me move that down though. Alright, let's try this again. Oh my gosh. Alright, let's just... Oh, because I made it where you can... Why? Do I keep pressing F1? Okay. I teleport back. Okay. And grandmother. Okay. Alright, so yeah. I hate showcasing it like this, but oh well. Looks like we're gonna have to do that. Okay, Alright, so this is how it's set up for if you want it to get hit multiple times. Now, it looks a lot different compared to this, right? Well, it would be much simpler if it wasn't for the fact that the links just do not work when you do like the easy setup. So we're going to have to do the more complex version. So I'll explain what this does. Grandmother is just an example NPC, and we're going to have to shoot grandmother several times before she actually gets in the map. We have two touch triggers here, which I'll explain what they do if I can move grandma. We have two different touch triggers. The first one, infected only, and stays on forever. This will connect to an if gate is stunned, and we're going to connect it to an AND gate, which I'll explain what that does in a minute. And we have another one, purely for just teleporting the bot to the map. So, and then the bot, you obviously have, is infected, 0 or 0.1. So, the if gate is stunned. It's going to go to an operation block, which is going to add 1 to the counter. You do it as 0. You link all this, and then however many times you want it to get stunned. So let's say I want it to get hit twice before it happens. When this happens, it's gonna break this down and let Foxy. Now, why is Foxy here? Well, because of the links not working, we have to let another NPC directly affect the link counter. So the reason we have conveyor here is when the game starts, it gives it time to load, and this block won't be non-collidable. So Foxy's just gonna be on the conveyor. This is about when the game starts and the links are ready. It'll just stay down here. Now, when it's stunned 2 times, it'll let Foxy fall into this touch trigger, which is only affected, stays on forever, is off. And what this will do, you'll connect a modifier gate, which needs to have clear last activated by. It needs to have another operation block, which has set and sets this to 0. That resets the counter. And then you need the Foxy NPC to teleport back up here. That way it's ready for use again. What this will do is this will allow the grandmother bot to teleport back here. So the grandmother bot will be stunned, and once it's unstunned, it'll teleport back in the map and you get to shoot it again. I'll show this as an example real quick. Alright, so we have this huge setup. So I need to shoot grandmother twice for this to work. So she tanks the first hit and she's stunned, but after the first hit, it'll be good. And then we shoot her again. Foxy is going to teleport, and the grandmother is going to teleport back in there. Now, and you see how the counter is reset because the links are not activated. And once grandmother is unstunned, it will teleport it back in the map. You could do this with almost any NPC as long as it gets affected by touch triggers. That's just what I chose to do. And then see, now it's back in the map, and you have to do it 2 times again.
I'll show you why you can't do it simpler and why it's bugged. We're gonna do grandmother. And that's gonna be. Is this just gonna be for pure teleporting? Okay. Alright, we need to test this real quick to make sure this works also. I have it set to 1 only. Alright. I keep pressing F1. Oh my goodness. I don't mean to press that. Alright, we're good. Alright, and now I will show why you can't do it the easy way. So, this is what happens if we try to use it the easy way. We have two different touch triggers. This one's just for teleporting, same thing. This one sets an if gate to have is stunned. And then once it's shot, it will work. So, the links do work. This does activate. However, this does not teleport the bot for some reason, even though it's got all the settings, and I will show an example now. So let me move that. Alright, so this is the bot, alright? We're gonna go over here. I gotta juke it. Oh my gosh. No! The stupid bot fell! I guess that's a clip. Okay. I'm a little sped. Okay, so here's what's happened when you try to do this. So, everything's connected. When it's stunned, you will see this glow up, and that's what affects the teleport. We shoot it, bam! It worked. The link is activated. Why is it not teleporting it back? Well, this is just a bug with links, and maybe it'll get fixed in the future, but this is why we have to do this complicated setup, and why another NPC has to basically affect it. You want to be careful how many you do this, because since you basically have an extra NPC for how many times you do this, it eventually can get pretty laggy. And you can tell it's bugged, because this is just on still. But yeah. So yeah, that's why you cannot do it the simple way, and you have to have another NPC. So be careful if you do this for, like, several different NPCs. But, yeah. Alright, so we're almost done. guys. Okay, now we're gonna do like 8. Okay. Alright, and once you have that set up, you have multiple infected. If you have this as well, this is how it's gonna test. So, we're gonna start the game. The zombies are gonna spawn. We have the grandmother. So now the infected will start spawning. And so, we gotta deal with it. And we shoot this, it's now in there. And in 20 seconds, it will come back to the map. Like, you see what's happening here? They are all teleporting in the map, and they have to patrol. They find us, we start shooting them. So we shoot them. I need to get another bullet for grip. Alright, we have multiple infected chasing us. Alright, grandmother's gone. Shot her 2 times. PCs. And depending on how you get ammo in your map, you could do this for an infinite amount of time until the links break. Which it shouldn't if your map isn't too laggy. But yeah, that's how you do this. Just the more NPCs, the lag gear. Just a heads up. So, yeah. You can also change this system how you like, because if you don't do patrols, it's not completely efficient because of how build mode is, and it's kind of buggy. But I mean, yeah, that's how you make build mode health NPC skills. If you want to see this expanded, let me know, and I'll maybe make a video on it in the future, but no promises. Yeah, that's about it. So see you guys. Alright, we're finally done. I'm tired of this mess. Ugh. That's about it.